Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sophia Lucia Parola with Garden State Film Festival. It is the 22nd annual film festival this year. We have 200 films coming from 14 countries in Asbury Park, New Jersey and Cranford, New Jersey. You can check out these films March 21st through March 24th. And one of the films you can check out is this short film called Man Down 2. I'm really excited to talk about this film because I like it a lot. And here with me is Josh Raff, co-writer, co-director, producer, and one of the leads in the film. Josh, hello.
Very nice to be here. Nice to
Thank
see you.
you
Thank
for
you for
taking
having me.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to
Of
us.
course, yeah.
Yeah, I have lots of questions for you. I really liked this film. It's funny, very unique. I'm excited to talk about it.
Thank you.
Yes, but before we get into it, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, just your titles in the film again?
Sure. So Josh Raff, co-writer, co-director, producer, and co-star, I suppose. I'm that guy that kind of did everything. I low-key did the music too, but under a different name because it starts to get a little ridiculous. But yeah, from outside Philadelphia, live in New York City, but the film takes place in Philly, in the suburbs, and it's sort of. I can I talk about the film now, or that was kind
Please,
of that
please.
was the
Yeah, that was
answer to
gonna be
the
the next
question. So I'm
question.
going to leave it. Yeah.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Set me up though, please. I would love
Okay,
to get
Josh,
all.
tell
Yeah.
us about your film,
Oh,
please.
well, funny you should ask. Yeah, so Man Down 2 is, loosely based on a true event. Um, and it's about my character who is, named Josh Raff, but a bit of a caricature of me that goes back to his old tennis club to play a tournament that he won at age 14, but he's really there 22 years later to beat his old nemesis from junior tennis. And there's many elements of that that are true to life, such as in 1999, I won this tennis tournament at this like low stakes club. I was a competitive player my whole life basically, and I was the youngest club champion ever at this club at age 14. Um, and I took down a bunch of out of shape older men. And then when I moved back home during the pandemic, which sort of quasi segue, but not, is the essence of the first iteration of this film, Man Down 1, the original. This is Man Down 2, which is an unofficial sequel, but the first one is about living at home with my parents. And during that time, I returned to the tennis club 22 years later and played the tournament again and won it again. And so my name is on this like board of champions from 1999 and then in 2021. And I just thought that whole sequence of life was pretty ridiculous and created the short film concept around that and worked in this character named Tommy Van Buren, who's a composite of these, zany competitors I had growing up in the junior tennis realm, and made him the antagonist. And in the story, he's won the tournament 9 years in a row, and he's going for a record-breaking 10th, unheard of 10th championship at this nothing club that means nothing, and yet to us it is everything. And I am there, and I have to stop this guy, and we hate each other, and we battle, and that's the essence of Man Down 2.
So good. I mean, you answered like so many questions I had,
I'm
which is
sorry, I knew
wonderful.
I was going to go off.
No, please. I was wondering if you really played tennis. So we found out that you did
Yes.
competitively. And I was also wondering if this was based off of a true story, and this was loosely. So can we hear a little bit about the actual true story? It was more like, so I know that Thomas Van Buren, who we see in this film, Man Down 2, is based off. Yeah, how did you come up with like this based off of the true story? How'd that happen?
Yeah, and so I junior tennis, there's a lot of characters and there's all sorts of like cliche type of figures, and there's also a lot of because you make your own line calls. When you watch tennis on TV, it's professional and there's line judges, and now there's like automatic computer generated systems, but like there used to be like people that would make the line calls. But in the junior circuit and most like across tennis as a sport, there's not line judges on the court, so you have
Uh,
to call your own line. So there's like an honor code to it. But a
oh
lot of
wow, while you're
people make,
playing,
yeah, a lot of people make bad line calls. Like there's a lot of
I
cheating, there's a lot of
can
dishonesty,
imagine.
and so I encountered these types of folks all throughout. I like to think I was an honest player, but I will say that if somebody cheated me, I would cheat them back. I would
Uh-huh,
even the
as you should.
score. Yeah. But anyway, the Van Buren guy was based on, there was a couple, there was one guy in particular who I won't name, but he like
Mhm.
terrorized me. I mean, we were like nemesis, and I was a little overweight as a teenager, and he used to call me Fat Raph, which in hindsight is kind of funny, but it was really mean and it hurt my feelings. And it stuck with me. And so
Mhm.
I like kind of used that fuel to create this Van Buren character. And
Mm.
the cool thing is the guy who plays Van Buren is one of my best friends in life, also a
Mm.
tennis player, and so he grew up in the same world and knew all these characters. And so
Wow.
when I asked him to do it, he was reluctant because he's not an actor, but he really, if you come and see the film, like he steals the show. He's
He's
great.
amazing.
It was a pleasure to work with him.
Let's shout him out. Matthew, what's it?
Cherner Ramft.
Okay, amazing. I was
Yeah.
wondering also if I was like, okay, maybe he's a comedian. Like, I didn't know. So he's never acted before. You had
Total
a
novice. Yeah, I had a good instinct about him.
wow. What about the other people we see in the film? Have they ever acted before, or did you just grab some people?
Um,
Like, yeah, where'd they come from?
I
The rest
think
of the
I just will, for my own edification, I feel like I have a pretty good like instinct on these things and who will
cast?
do,
Uh-huh.
like, so like my parents are my parents. They're my real
Mm,
parents. And that was kind of the what I thought was cool about the original Man Down, was like creating this world with like sort of like a metaverse in a way, where it's like real people kind of playing themselves, but
uh-huh.
in a sort of slightly altered state of reality. And so for this one, I am my character, and then Matthew Cherner Ramft, my best friend, he's the antagonist, Thomas Van Buren. He's never acted before. And then the character who plays Angie, you saw the film,
Mm,
so she's a
yes.
she's a
Oh,
pro.
we're gonna talk about her too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the shit. Can I say
Yeah, that's
she's
fine. She is the
awesome?
shit. I
Okay,
love her.
okay,
Shout
we're
out to
on
you,
the
Angie.
internet, Wild West. Um, and so she's a really good friend. I've known her through music, and she's a
Uh-huh.
performer. Like she's legit. Has been on Broadway and things like that. And she was on what show is she on? The one with Cookie, Taraji Henson. Uh,
Um,
what's the name of that show?
I don't know. Is it?
Not
I don't. I
not
mean, I love the
Power, but
actress. Power
not, is it Power?
or
It,
Empire?
Empire. It's
Is
Empire.
it?
I think,
I
or
don't know. I love
I
the
don't know.
actress. I can't say
Atlanta.
I
She's
watched
been
the
on
show though.
Atlanta before. She's like been around. She's really
Wow.
great.
You
She's
go,
a,
Angie.
yeah, credited.
Everybody.
And
Yeah.
then my parents are back in it. And then there's this guy, Dr. Dang, who's
He's
like, he's like
amazing.
he's my general practitioner doctor. Like, he's just this guy who loves tennis. He plays at the club all the time. I've known him since I was
Wow.
like 12 years old, and I cast him, and he really did a great job. So I enjoy working with
Uh-huh.
actors who haven't done the work, and I'm like, just trust me, you can do it. Like and then you get like someone like Angie, where I have to like step my game up because she's so good.
Mm,
And so and I think that what is cool about the project, in my opinion, is just the blend of that, like that kind of
mhm.
energy, when there's like just genuine, authentic, real people like
Right.
on set, with like people who get it and know what the acting job is, and kind of this mixture of that, I think
Yeah.
worked well for the film.
No, I totally agree. And like we have to shout out, we're on live too, so we can see some live chat. Brookdale TV said, I love
Yeah,
this
what's up,
film.
Brooktail?
Totally
Thank
agree,
you.
Brookdale TV. What's up? Um, I think I totally agree about the blend of people that you're saying. And it's so much more meaningful knowing that these are people in your life that you know that actually are in that tennis world too and love tennis. It just adds so much more meaning to it. And I want to talk about the way you filmed it and the way you directed this, because not
Hmm.
only were you co-director, but just like the way you filmed it was it wasn't like a mockumentary, but like kind of in that loose kind of style. So talk to me about the inspiration for the way you filmed it and what it was like being a co-director.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. Good. I like these questions. The first one was all Man Down One. If you watch that, which is available to stream, it's all on iPhone. We shot it entirely on iPhone, for creative reason, but also budget reason. And for this one, it was a bigger project. It was a more vast universe that we were
Mhm.
creating, and so I wanted it to be a production level that reached that. And so my cinematographer, who's one of my best friends in life, a really talented guy named Jordan Batiste. He and I, we made a conscious choice that we're gonna like do it a certain way, and that way was what you mentioned, like this kind of
Mhm.
mock style, a little bit of The Office infused with like quick zooms and like
Right.
shakiness, and we brought in our a camera, I guess you'd call him the assistant, DP or whatever he's credited as, but
Mhm.
named Ryan, who's like a really talented. I mean, we brought in some heavy hitters that I know that did it for either free or on the
Mhm.
arm or with a very lesser rate than just like because they believed in the project, which was
Yeah.
cool,
Love that.
and so it was a conscious choice to film it this way. I'm really happy with the camera work from those two guys in particular. They
Yeah.
came through. And then your other question, I think, had to do
And
with
yeah, you
yeah,
directed this with,
Noah
Maura
Campbell.
Kimball.
Yeah,
So what was that co-directing relationship kinda look like?
we work pretty well together. Like I love her to pieces. She is such a good advocate. She's the reason Man Down exists, the first one, because I wrote the script and I sent it to her for feedback, and she called me and
Mhm.
was like, "I want to come in and direct this thing," and I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And it like gave it this energy that like it might have just been a script sitting in my desk without her. And so the new concept came, and it was never in question that we would collaborate and do it together, and we balance each other well. Like I have my strengths and she has her strengths, and I think they're complementary,
Mhm.
and so we pick up each other's kind of missing pieces. Like I'm not a trained director by
Mhm.
any means, but I'm a pretty good, like I'm organized and I can lead and I have passion and I have
Mhm.
a vision. I knew what I wanted this film to be. And Mara is just she's great with story. She added in like flair and flavor to scenes that I hadn't thought of, like, and
Mhm.
we were stacking ideas on top of each other, but we also know her way more so than me when to back off, because I can get a little crazy. But we just keep each other honest, and it can be tricky to co-direct because it's like who's really in charge here, but we have that collaborative spirit, and it seems to
Mhm.
work.
And you were the lead in the film too, almost in a lot of the scenes, so I imagine it was very helpful for you to kind of give a little bit of those hats away because you were wearing a lot in this film.
100%. And
Mhm.
I like to think I'm someone who can, I know what I want to some extent, but also I'm pretty open to notes. I want notes. Like
Mhm.
I want you to tell me why the take didn't work. Cause sometimes
Right.
I'm not sure. And so Mara's got a great eye, and, she was keeping me honest in that regard as well, from the acting perspective.
Right. A couple things I want to talk about too before we finish. And the first was the music that you mentioned.
Mhm.
So you and Angie's lovely voice on the track too.
Mm.
In it, your character has a little rap, some rap in his life, and you rap in your life
Yes.
as well. And we hear that in this film.
Yes, that is correct. So my first like performance life was in a band. I was in a New York City based hip hop band called Pants Velour. We're all over YouTube. We had like a pretty good thing going for a long time. And Jordan, my cinematographer on this film and the editor and very much a co-creator, co-producer, was the chief producer in
Wow.
Pants Floor, and I was the primary songwriter and lyricist. And we performed all over New York City and yada yada. And that's actually I met Angie through that world, through the music world. And I love music. I love live music. I know I'm not the rapper you'd expect to see. When people find out I was in a band and I was a performer, it's like no one's guessing that I was the MC. But I kind of like that. It's unexpected, and I'm
Yeah.
the expectations are really low, and I think so. I
Staying
exceed
unpredictable.
them. And so I've made it part of my character within the Man Down, the multiverse,
Yeah.
and we haven't gotten there yet. But the Man Down universe, to be a performer, a musician, and then each film rather finishes with an original music video. So Man Down 1
Oh,
has
wow.
a music video at the end as well. And so it made sense to do that for Man Down 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Okay, so quickly, I want to hear. I said I had two more questions. I have one more real quick. Is there a Man Down 3? Where do we see this going?
Cool. So first up, there's maybe the website is mdiproductions.com.
Okay.
You can navigate and stream Man Down 1. And then Man Down 2 is behind a wall because it's premiering at the festival. So you got
You
to
got to
come to
come
the
to
Garden
Garden State
State
Film
Festival to see
Festival
it.
to see it. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I get onto different projects. I
Mhm.
just started a new music project called Prescription Sneakers. It's a hip hop band, and I'm like kind of into that right now. There's definitely like I think a space and a place for Man Down the World to continue. I have
Oh,
some ideas for new like kind of episodes or shorts, however you
yeah.
want to view it. So yeah, I mean the short answer is yes. The long answer is I don't know when.
Yeah, no plans, but
Yeah,
definitely you could see it happening. So, and I can too. Even if someone to pick this up and like make a series out of it or something, or a web
appreciate that.
series, I could see it going a lot of places. And lastly, we want to hear: have you ever been to Garden State Film Festival before, Josh?
Okay. I have not,
And
and
how's it?
I'm really pumped for that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about having Man Down 2 premiere here or screen
Very
here?
honored. I know I've heard of the festival. I was on my list when I got this project done. Like I knew I wanted to submit here. So to get in and to have it screen, I'm really pumped. I've mentioned it to friends. We're coming out.
Yay.
Yeah. So and I look forward to seeing the other films as well.
Me too. I'm really excited. I'm in one film that we filmed in Philly too, so hopefully we can all
Oh,
kind of
cool.
meet up because I love New Jersey filmmakers, Pennsylvania filmmakers.
Yeah.
It's a great place to network and,
Can
you
you
know.
tell me when that is? Because I want to make sure I mark that down.
Okay, I will, but maybe not on here because we got
Right.
to tell everybody when Man Down 2
Yeah, we're
is.
just focused on man. Yeah,
I'll
I
give you
got
an
you. I got
email after because we
you.
definitely will all meet up at the festival. But let me tell everyone watching how they can see Man Down 2. You definitely want to come. I really enjoyed this film, and clearly other people did too on the live chat. It'll be playing Saturday, March 23rd in the film block, 6:15 to 8:30 p.m. in Asbury Hotel. I think that's going to be a great film block Saturday night. Definitely come check it out. Meet Josh and some of the other people that are in the film. Josh, thank you again for talking to us and congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Really nice to be here.
All right, we'll see you at the festival.
Adios.
Bye. Adios.